Let's talk about nuclear energy. It's one of those technologies that you might think you know, but its story has been taking some dramatic turns. We're going to dive into how one of the most powerful and, yeah, controversial energy sources on the planet has been quietly reinventing itself.
So, if I say nuclear power, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's complicated. You might picture massive, clean energy, but you might also think about the accidents that have defined its public image. It's a technology with a heavy history, and honestly, that's exactly where we need to start.
You see, to really understand where nuclear power is today, you have to look back. The industry's absolute toughest moments, well, they also became its most important lessons, sparking a total transformation in how we approach nuclear safety. 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, Fukushima. Yeah, these names carry a lot of weight, right? They're etched into our collective memory. Each one of these events, in its own tragic way, revealed serious vulnerabilities, but they also forced a global reckoning, leading to way stricter rules and a massive push for safer designs. And here's the crucial takeaway from all that. These incidents weren't just tragedies, they were catalysts. They lit a fire under the global scientific community. The hard lessons from these events spurred decades of nonstop research and innovation, building a whole new foundation for safety. So, what does all that learning actually look like today? Well, the safety philosophy behind a modern nuclear plant is a complete top-to-bottom rethink. It's all about designing safety in from the very first blueprint. Modern plants are built on a principle called defense in depth. The best way to think about it is like a fortress with multiple layers of walls. First, you've got redundant safety systems, so if one fails, another one kicks in. Then you have multiple tough physical barriers. Add in incredibly rigorous training and wrap the whole thing in a massive steel-reinforced containment building. It's layers upon layers of protection.
And this is the real game changer. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. See, older reactors relied on what's called active safety, pumps, generators, things that needed electricity and people to work. But if the power goes out, big problem. New reactors are designed around passive safety.
So what does that mean, passive safety? It's actually a beautifully simple idea. It means the reactor uses the basic laws of physics, things like gravity and natural heat circulation, to shut itself down and stay cool. No humans needed, no external power needed. In an emergency, physics just takes over. The industry has a phrase for this, and honestly, it's pretty bold. Walk away safe. The idea is that these new designs are so inherently stable that in the event of an emergency, operators could literally walk away, and the plant would safely manage itself. That's the level of confidence we're talking about. Okay, so with this incredible leap forward in safety, it makes sense that nuclear power is still a really big deal around the world. So let's zoom out a bit and get a snapshot of what the global landscape looks like right now. So how widespread is it? Well, according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, as of mid-2025, there are 416 civilian nuclear reactors chugging away in 31 different countries. That is a serious global footprint, providing reliable, carbon-free electricity 24/7. And this shows you who the heavy hitters are. The United States leads the pack in total capacity. Then you've got France, which gets the vast majority of its electricity from nuclear. That's pretty amazing. And you got to keep an eye on China. They are building new plants at an incredible rate. Add it all up, and nuclear power generates about 10% of all the electricity on Earth. But here's the kicker. That makes it the second largest source of low-emissions power on the entire planet, just behind hydropower. It's a cornerstone of clean energy today, which leads to the big question. What about tomorrow? With the whole world scrambling to find clean, reliable energy, a lot of people are giving nuclear a fresh look. It's kicked off a lot of talk about a nuclear renaissance. And this projection from the International Energy Agency really tells the story. They predict that to meet our global clean energy goals, nuclear power capacity is set to grow and grow significantly by the middle of the century. The demand is definitely there. So what does that future look like? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle comes down to 3 letters. SMR, small modular reactors. And believe me, when you picture these, you need to forget the giant power plants of the past. This is a whole different ballgame. The advantages are baked right into the name. They're small, so they can be built in far more locations. They're modular, which is huge. It means they can be assembled in a factory, like a car. and then shipped to the site. That improves quality and slashes construction time. And they're incredibly versatile. You could use one to power a remote town, a giant factory, or even create clean hydrogen. The possibilities are kind of amazing. So, when you step back and look at the whole story, from a difficult past that forged an entirely new era of safety to a present built on walk-away safe designs and a future that looks smaller, smarter, and way more flexible, it's clear the book on nuclear energy is far from closed. Which leaves us with a really important question. In our urgent global search for clean and reliable power, has this technology earned a second look?